Hello class, now is 18th meeting of our English for Marketing. What we are going to learn today is something new. It still has the connection, of course, with our topics that we have been learning so far from the beginning of this semester. What it is about? Do you still remember about product classifications? A product is anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy a want or a need. And you still remember this? The product classification based on durability and tangibility, and also product classification based on who the buyers are and the purpose of buying, which later we try to classify them becomes non-durable goods, durable goods, and services. I do really hope that you still remember, because these are the topics that we have been learning before the midterm tests, and then it turns out that this topic will also come out later in the final test. And there's also consumer goods and industrial goods, which later consumer goods is subdivided into convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsold goods. And for the industrial goods, we have materials and parts, capital items, and supplies and business supplies. These are all the materials for the product classifications based on some categories that we have been learning before the midterm test. These materials also will come out later in the final test, because this also has the connection with what we are going to learn later. What we are going to learn later is product mix. Now, what is product mix? As you can see in the picture, there are some products with some different products with different brands, different names. So what is product mix actually? Product mix is the product assortment or product portfolio, refers to the complete set of products and or services offered by a firm. In a simple meaning, can be said like this. Do you know that usually a firm or a company will produce not only one product, but they will also produce for different products? Or maybe let's say that they have the same product, similar product, but different tastes. For example, like let's say noodle. We have the Indofood company. Indofood company is a very famous and popular company in Indonesia. It even sells their product overseas, outside of Indonesia. And then the most famous or popular product from Indofood is the noodle, Indomie. Well, actually, Indomie is not only the only product produced by the Indofood. We know for sure that Indomie also it has the cooked one, the boiled one, and also the fried noodle one. And it also differentiated by their taste also. We have so many tastes, rich or vary of tastes from the noodle itself. So it's really popular, it's really famous from the product. And then it also can be called like the product portfolio of the Indofood. So that is the simple example from the product mix. Now, what is product mix consist of? Well, product mix consists of the product lines. Now, what is product lines? Product line refers to the list of all the related products manufactured or marketed by a single firm. Just now, I have mentioned it earlier for the Indofood. Indofood, it is not only produce noodle. Yeah, I know that. Let's take a look for the noodle for Indomie. It has so many tastes. So the various tastes of the Indomie, we can list all of them, and it becomes the related products from manufacturer or the marketed by a single company, which is Indofood. Another example, for example, let's say Honda. Let's take for the Honda company. It has the different category. Yeah, like the motorcycle and also for the car. For the motorcycle itself, it also has different categories for the naked bikes, for the matic bikes, and for the gear bikes. As well as the car, it has the hatchback, minivan, SUV, and so on. So those are all the list of the products produced or marketed by the single company, Honda. The product line itself, it is differentiated by many types, many categories. From which side that we see? From the variety. Of course, when we talk about the product line, we will talk about the variety. Like just now, I mentioned about the noodle produced by the Indofood, which has so many tastes, and Honda company, which has the big categories for the motorcycle and for the cars, which even for the it has the many varieties for the cars and also for the motorcycle itself. For the features, I think we need to talk about the Honda one. Let's say for the motorcycles, maybe some of them have different features compared to some variety of the same product. Let's say cars, for the HRV, it has the feature, if I'm not mistaken, for the HRV, for the highest product of the HRV, it has the sunroof, which can open and close. For the lower one, for the lower of HRV product, it does not have the sunroof. That is called the feature. For the brand name, well, for the brand name, there are some brands that usually quite different with the main brand, or let's say we can say the main brand. For example, like Toyota. Toyota has the product that their names, most of the cars produced by Toyota will name Toyota, and then after that will name different name for like Toyota Avanza or Toyota Sienna or Toyota Alphard. Toyota is the main brand, but then Alphard, Avanza, Sienna, Agya, and so on, that is called the brand name also. And then they have different brand name for each category, each variety of the product. Quality. Well, when we talk about the quality, of course, there is something related with the satisfaction from the consumers. If the consumers feel that the product is very satisfied, so of course the quality will rise up. Services. If you still remember from the previous meeting, we talked about the services, that there is like the main service and also the core service and also the complementary services. Well, there are some products that really accompanied by the services, which really to make the consumers feel satisfied more. For example, like when you buy the cars, there will be kind of like the free services for the cars for around 3 years, which some spare parts that you can change without cost any money. Design, of course, for sure. You will know that like motorcycle, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and some of the others, they will have the same name, right? Suzuki, and then after that, like different name, like Suzuki RC or something like that. But you will see that they have different design, different style. Packaging. Packaging is almost quite the same with the designs, and you can see also the packaging of the let's say that for the models of the cars and motorcycles, maybe the models of the motorcycle and the cars produced by the same firm or company, they will have different packaging for each of the product. Now we will go further for the dimension of the product mix. The dimension of product mix, it is subdivided into 4: width, length, depth, and consistency. What are they? Each of them refers or represents one of the topic. For the width, it is also known as the breadth. It refers to the number of product lines offered by a company. Like Honda has the hatchback, SUV, has the sedan, has the minibus. So it means that there are 4 number of product. Next we have length. It refers to the total number of the products in a firm's product mix. So let's say again from the Honda, let's say from the hatchback, it has Honda Jazz, and then it has also Brio Satya, and also it has the Brio only, and then so on. For the depth, it refers to the number of variations within a product line. Just now I mentioned from the length, like there's Honda Jazz, Honda Brio Satya, and Honda Brio comes from hatchback. But actually from each product, it has different series or different type. Like Honda Brio Satya, it has A and E, if mistaken. Yeah, like that. So there is the highest type of that product, highest type of the Honda Brio, it's E. The middle one is A, if mistaken, and then there is also the lowest one. So there is like variation of that. For the motorcycle, it seems to be there is no, but for the cars there is. There is also the different for the features, like for the middle type of the Honda Brio, it says that the audio is only 1 ding, and then the window is not power window, it's just like you have to scroll the window and so on. And then consistency, it refers to how closely related product lines are to each other. It deals with the product produced by the firm or company. If the company releases many products but it still has the connection one another, it's called the consistency is still strong. However, if the products has no connection one to another, we call that consistency is low. For example, like for the Honda company, also like the Toyota company, until right now, most of them still produce like what we call as the vehicle transportations. So we can call that their consistency is strong. And if you know like Yamaha so far it only produces motorcycle. However, they also produce some of the music instruments like the organs and like the guitars. They also some products produced by the Yamaha Music or something like that. So if we call that one, their consistency is low then. So because the products one to another, it is not closely related. Now let's take a look for the example. I took it from the businessjargons.com product mix HTML. You can see by yourself also. Here they give an example of ITC. I don't know what's the product is that. I think it's also the kind of like their example. You see the ITC from which there is it says that like food, cigarette, lifestyle, retailing, education, and stationery. So it means that there are 4 product lines of if you see from width of the ITC. And then the next one we have food, cigarettes, lifestyle, retailing, and also education, stationery. They are also subdivided into some categories, like Kitchen of India, is Silhouette, Sunfish, and Ansel Color Crew. So this is called length. It means that each product line there are 3. So we can call now 3, 3, 2, 3. So there are 11. Yeah, there are 11 product lines from the length. If we see from the length of the ITC. The next one we have depth. For the ITC, if you see again from the Kitchen of India, there are some sub other categories like curry, past, biryani, and conserves. This is called depth. Yeah, so you see that from the width, it's a very like the category. The length from the category, it will be subdivided into sub other categories, and the depth is from the sub other categories is divided again to some other smaller groups. Consistency. From the given example, it is clear that the ITC's product lines are less consistent as these perform different functions for the buyers. What does it mean? This. See, foods, cigarettes, lifestyle retailing, education stationery. Foods and cigarette. Well, foods is about the food, right? Meal. Cigarettes is it's quite related. However, for lifestyle retailing, it's far away from the foods and cigarette. Education and stationery is also different. So that's why that it becomes the less consistent as this perform different functions for the buyers. For the food functions what? Cigarettes, and also education, and for the lifestyle. That's why they say that it has the less consistent. Now I took an example from the Toyota. I might be wrong because I just took it from the internet, and from what I know, you might have your own product mix, yeah, from what you have and from what you know. I took it here as example Toyota. Toyota is subdivided to sedans, sports, hatchbacks, and minivans. This is for the width. Meanwhile, for the length, we have, for the sedans we have Camry, Prius, and Corolla. And then for the sport we have XT6. Hatchback we have Auris, Fit, Forte, and then Sienta, Alfa, and Velfire. Well, over here you might recognize some brands, some products from Toyota that we can find in Indonesia. Some others probably no, like Camry. Yeah, I think I have ever heard that one. Prius, no. Corolla, yes. XT6, yeah, I think I've ever heard about that. Auris, I don't know. Fits, no. Forte, I don't know. Hatchback from Toyota here that is quite famous is Yaris. Minivan Sienta, yeah, of course we have it. Alphard and Velfire, yeah, we have it. So as for your information, Toyota brand's name, it might be different. It might change the name for each country because probably they try to find the most suitable name for each country to make it more popular. And at the depth, over here you see that I give it for size, color, cc, etc. I don't know, and I'm not sure for Toyota it has the different type like in Honda. Like I said that there's a type A and E for Honda Brio only. This one might also have like E Unlimited, Sport, Advanced, or something like that for each. For example, like Camry, it also has different type. For example, like the size of the Camry is quite big or quite wide. Also the color, there is blue Camry, white Camry, and so on. And also the CC, 1200 cc or maybe 1500 cc, and so on. It also applies to another type also. So this is the end for the product mix. Again, I do hope that you can get understanding from what I have been explaining so far, especially for the product mix. Okay, thank you for your attention, and